A college boy raped the biker president's 13-year-old daughter and posted the video online, thinking his senator father made him untouchable. He was wrong. Thomas was working on his Harley in the club garage, grease on his hands, classic rock blasting, when his phone rang. It was Linda, voice shaking. "Thomas? Lisa's in the hospital. There's a video. Everyone has seen it." The wrench slipped from his hand and clanged on concrete. "What video?" Silence, then a broken whisper, "Just come to St. Mary's right now." 60 steel demons thundered behind their president to the hospital, cuts flapping like war flags. They filled the corridor outside ICU, leather and chains, eyes burning red. Lisa lay unconscious, tubes in her arms, face swollen with tears that had dried while she slept. Linda sat beside her, clutching her daughter's hand, sobbing without sound. Dr. Patterson took Thomas into a side room. "Your daughter was drugged at a frat party. While she was unconscious, someone raped her, filmed the entire thing and posted it online. It's spreading fast." The air left Thomas's lungs. The room went deadly silent. 60 bikers heard every word through the open door. "Who?" One word, low as a growl. "Brad Wellington. Senator Wellington's son. University kid." Every man in that hallway knew the name. Senator Wellington owned judges, owned chiefs of police, owned entire districts. His son had always been untouchable. 3 hours later, Lisa opened her eyes. The first thing she said shattered every heart in the room. "Dad, everyone at school has seen it. They're sending it to each other. I want to die." Thomas dropped to his knees beside the bed, took her tiny hand in his huge, scarred ones. "You are not going to die, baby girl. I promise you that. But someone else is." "Dad, please, don't do anything stupid," she begged through fresh tears. He kissed her forehead, voice soft but iron hard. "I'm not going to do anything stupid, sweetheart. I'm going to do something smart." That night the steel demons held church in the clubhouse. Every patch holder attended, even prospects stood against the wall. Rage was so thick you could smell it over cigarette smoke and whiskey. "We all know the system won't touch this rich little bastard," Thomas said, slamming the gavel once. "So we handle it our way. Old school." Tank, 300 pounds of muscle and scars, cracked his knuckles loud enough to echo. "When do we move, press?" "First we know everything," Thomas replied. Snake, dig. Snake, their tech wizard and former black hat, went to work. By sunrise he had Brad Wellington's entire digital life. Cloud, phone, hidden drives, everything. He walked into church white as a ghost. "Boss, you need to see this." 43 separate videos. 43 different girls, all drugged, all unconscious, all filmed like trophies. Some as young as 14. Text messages bragging to his rich friends, "Got the biker's little girl tonight, youngest one yet. Dad will handle any problems like always." "Download every byte," Thomas ordered. "Triple encrypted. We're gonna need it." 3 nights later Brad Wellington stumbled out of a frat party at 2 a.m., drunk, laughing, keys to his new Mercedes swinging. The car wouldn't start. He cursed, looked up, and 15 steel demons stepped out of the darkness, circling him like wolves. "My father is a senator," Brad shouted, voice cracking. "You can't touch me." Thomas stepped forward slowly, chain wallet clinking. "Your father isn't here, boy." Brad fumbled for his phone. No signal. Snake's jammer had the whole block blacked out. Hands grabbed him, lifted him off the ground, threw him into a van. 20 minutes later he was zip-tied to a metal pole inside an abandoned warehouse on the edge of town, the place where the club solved problems permanently. Brad pissed himself. "I have money. My father can pay anything." Thomas dragged a chair across the concrete, sat down inches from Brad's face, voice calm as death. "You drugged my 13-year-old daughter. You raped her while she couldn't move. You filmed it. You posted it for the whole world to see. Now you're going to confess." They set up a camera. Brad confessed to all 43 girls by name, every date, every cover-up, every cop and prosecutor his father had paid, every judge who looked the other way. He cried, snot running, thinking words would save him. They weren't done. Tank and Razor wheeled in barrels. The smell of warm roofing tar filled the warehouse. Brad started screaming when he realized. They stripped him naked, designer clothes sliced off with combat knives, gold watch smashed, fraternity ring tossed into the dark. Then, slowly they poured tar over his head, his face, his chest, his genitals, everywhere. Not boiling hot, warm enough to coat, not kill. Then bags of chicken feathers dumped on top until he looked like a giant, ridiculous, dripping black bird. They filmed that too, Brad sobbing, covered in tar and feathers, reading his confession again while the camera rolled. Razor fired up a tattoo gun. Brad thrashed and screamed as thick black letters were carved across his forehead. Predator. Permanent ink. Permanent shame. At dawn they drove him to the richest part of town and threw him out naked on a street corner, tarred, feathered, branded, stacks of printed confessions taped to every wall and lamppost around him. A woman jogging with her dog saw him, screamed, called 911. By noon both videos were everywhere. The full confession listing 43 victims and the corruption, and the second video, Brad Wellington tarred, feathered, and marked forever, crying like a child. The internet broke. Memes exploded within hours. #Tarboy trended worldwide. Brad became the most ridiculed human being in America overnight. Senator Wellington went on every network trying to spin it. 43 broken girls and a sobbing confession on camera made spin impossible. The FBI raided the Wellington mansion that afternoon. Brad was arrested in handcuffs while still trying to scrub tar off in a holding cell shower. His father was taken 2 days later in front of the cameras he once controlled. At Brad's bail hearing he walked in wearing a baseball cap. The judge ordered it removed. The entire courtroom gasped at the fresh black letters screaming predator across his forehead. His lawyer claimed assault. The judge asked for proof. Brad stayed silent. Any explanation meant admitting why he was in that warehouse. Bail denied. Remanded as a flight risk and danger to the community. In county jail the tattoo made him instant prey. Child predators don't last long on Maine population. He begged for protective custody. Got solitary, 23 hours a day in a concrete box with nothing but a steel toilet and the words staring back from every polished surface. All 43 girls came forward after the confession video. Federal trial was swift and merciless. Brad Wellington, 90 years. Senator Wellington, 35 years for corruption and obstruction. Thomas visited Brad once in federal prison, just once. Brad was thinner, eyes hollow, the tattoo partially removed by laser but the skin still scarred in raised letters you could read from 10 feet away. "You destroyed me," Brad whispered through the glass. "No," Thomas said quietly. "You destroyed yourself. We just made sure the whole world finally saw what you are. Your daughter, is she okay? That's none of your business anymore." "I'm sorry," Brad sobbed. "Sorry you got caught," Thomas corrected. "Sorry you're not untouchable. Sorry Daddy couldn't save you this time." The steel demons were never charged. No evidence ever linked them to the warehouse. Officially, Brad Wellington was assaulted by unknown vigilantes. Unofficially, every cop, every judge, every father in the state knew exactly who delivered justice. The tar eventually washed off. The feathers came off. The videos never will. Every few months one or both resurface, go viral again, and a fresh generation laughs at the rich boy who thought he was above consequences. Brad sits in his cell and counts days, 32,850 total. He has served 1,825. Only 31,025 left to go. The steel demons still ride. They still protect their families. And they taught the world a lesson no courtroom ever could. Some justice doesn't come from gavels. Some justice comes from fathers who love their daughters more than they fear the law. That's what happens when you hurt a biker's little girl.